Hi, I'm Neil Morrissey. Welcome back to Grand Prix World. We're about to kick off a brand new season, 2003, with Tyrrell, and change is afoot. First of all, I just want to address a few comments and things that have come in. Recently, I've been recording these in bulk, so if it takes me a little while to get back to you, I do apologise. First things first, someone has been asking for a all French Prost playthrough. I've had this request come in a few times over the last 2 years, and I can say it's definitely on my radar. I want to take a moment to talk about the future of Grand Prix World. Actually, the Tyrrell playthrough has at most 5 seasons to go. That will go by quite quickly. The Sauber playthrough has longer to run, but I'm pretty sure we're going to run out of money. I recorded an episode this morning, and things like the prognosis doesn't look great, but we'll see if we can save it. Presuming we can't save it, then it comes down to what to do for the future. And I don't really know how much Grand Prix World everyone wants. I mean, it's definitely the stuff that performs best. But also there's only so much I can really show off after a while. I definitely plan to do an all French playthrough. I also planned an all British playthrough, but I'm wondering if that's too many things along the same lines. But there'll be at least one more full Grand Prix World playthrough. People have been asking for mods as well. I'm prepared to give it a shot once I've done at least what's running now. Simple reason being that the game is super, super unstable on my machine, and no matter what I've done down the years, I just can't stop it from crashing all the time and breaking very, very easily, and I just don't want to lose save data and have to abandon playthroughs. I'm prepared to give mods a shot, but I don't want to promise that there'll be modded playthroughs because honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I can get it to work. And also with technology moving on at the pace that it does, unless I'm prepared to invest in a retro PC, that stability is only going to get worse with time. That said, I do want to continue doing F1 management in the future. We just need to wait for either some better mods for Motorsport Manager that are more stable, or hopefully some form of new title that is even better. Motorsport Manager Online is out soon, but again, that's mobile only. Very disappointing, but hope springs eternal. The rest of sort of questions and comments I am working on addressing, so thank you for your patience in advance. Right then, off we go then. So, what's the deal? All our major contracts are up, which is bad news. What I'm going to do is really spread out who we're talking to. Now, if I remember correctly, and I could Google this right now as I'm recording, but if I remember correctly, aren't West an Asian tobacco company? No, it's German. Winfields are Australian, and Marlboro are Marlboro, American, I think. Playlife is Italian, Blondes is French, Benson Hedges English, Red Bull Austrian. Okay, so there's no Japanese sponsor for me to chase. I was thinking of Mild 7 when I was confusing Playlife and Mild 7, and they don't even sell remotely the same products, so don't know where that came from. On the engine front, only Mugen Honda for us to talk to, of course. We are sticking with Bridgestone tyres, even though they are producing an inferior product for the benefit of the all Japanesey playthrough. And I'm talking to Mobil and Shell to see who will give us the best deal there. No cash sponsors on the table at the moment. Red Bull, HSBC, and Mugen Honda are coming along for some hospitality shenanigans because we want to re-sign HSBC and they already quite like us, so it should be a fairly easy few million to pick up and boost our budget. Our budget for next year currently sits at $220,000. I can spend that sneezing in this game, so of course we have to do better. In terms of testing and development and whatnot, We are going to do a humongous first test. Ridiculously big. This may prove to be a little too expensive for us, but we have a lot of work to do. How to assign mechanics is a whole other kettle of fish. But we have to work on everything if we're going to make a run on this year's championship. I mean, everything. The race drivers are going to focus primarily on setup work, of course. Tyres are going to need a lot of love. And then the test driver. See, I'm pretty sure we're too diffuse there. I'm not sure we're going to achieve any of our major goals. I could put more mechanics on it, but if I did that, it would definitely be like this. Let's try that. Okay, we've got the first analysis of this year's car out of the way. That's good. We've got some good tyre points to spend, also very important. I'm going to immediately improve our hard compound tyres. That's definitely important. I'm also going to improve our race fuels. I'm going to go for power because it's early season. In terms of our engine, I am going to reduce rigidity in favor of power. Okay, so that's all done. We need to obviously repair our cars, get everything sorted, but first things first, into the design office with us. Everything's already assigned here. We're working on a new set of servo brakes. We're working on improving the performance of our standard brakes. No update package for the car in progress at the moment. What we see is we've got a base handling score of 60%. Not great, if I'm honest, given how much work we put into last year's car. Really not quite where I wanted us to be, but it's a solid baseline. I'm not going to pretend it's like the end of the world. Hopefully we're turning a profit this season. That's very important. I've not ordered any upgrades to the factory yet. Reason being, I want to see how our increased wage budget plays out, and obviously we're still missing our works money. I'm tempted to take Dario Loretti for his 10 million per season cash backing, but that does still keep us essentially a one-car team, which we don't necessarily want to be. I can't bring back Toru Takagi, so in terms of Japanese drivers, it's Hiroshi Tanaka or nothing. He just hasn't improved. He had quite a good season, but he's gained no points. Even our test driver is superior. Now, I could, of course, hire a sort of a proven driver in the form of like Fisichella or Wirtz. Even Sarazan would be an option. We can't afford Hill. We could bring back John Fellows, but actually he's even worse than Tanaka. How's Stefan Sarazan? Sarazan is at least fast, but again, a bit too weak for my liking. Celso Moriera I've always liked, but I don't think he's developed much really. So really at this point it's between Dario Loretti for the cash money and I guess Alexander Wirtz or Hiroshi Tanaka. I'm not going to consider Carl Eisen because he just doesn't represent that much of an improvement. Please put your thoughts in the comments down below regarding your preference, whether we should stay all Japanese and retain the integrity of the playthrough, or if in the interest of the Constructors' Championship we swap him out for Alexander Wirtz, or if in the interest of really pushing Nakano to the Drivers' Championship we take the Dario Loretti money. Not going to extend any offers to anybody right now. We don't need to negotiate with anyone except our chief mechanic. We've already extended an offer, but he has chosen to refuse it. Right, let's take some wear off our race machinery, and we can see where we fit in. I'm not expecting a particularly strong start to the season, actually, now having done that initial testing. Also, our tyres are rubbish. Really bad. I'm going to have Nakano run the hard tyre, and I'm going to have Tanaka stop more frequently. I'm going to have him 2-stop because the tyres do not hold, and or maybe even 3-stop, and see if, because the first round of the season, just see what he can do with a very, very light car. That's what I'm curious to see. In terms of setup, it'll be a very generic affair, I think. I'm not going to favour either driver, just because there's really no point at this stage, so early in the season. Everything else is set. Off we go then to Melbourne, dear friends. Oh, hold on, I didn't tell them how hard to push. Right, I'm going to expect more from Tanaka. Maybe I allowed him to sit too much in his comfort zone. I'm also going to expect more from Nakano. It's the early season. I want to see what they can actually do. If we drop points in the first round, we can always recover it. It's good to get a handle on what's possible early if we're going to try and make a run, and at least retaining second in the Constructors. Okay, so running down the driver list again, just to confirm things. David Coulthard and Damon Hill kept on there at McLaren, who are running Works Mercedes Power. They are looking to be the strongest team going into the season, but of course we don't know because we haven't seen their testing times. We are the second place constructor from last year, Shinji Nakano and Hiroshi Tanaka, again, an unchanged driver pairing. Arrows, Olivier Panis as team leader alongside John Fellows. They also have Works Mercedes Power, if memory serves, and are also looking quite strong. Other threats that I see, Williams, Ferrari and Benetton. Benetton look to be in a much stronger position, at least in terms of technical support. They were the worst team last year. I don't know if that's going to stay or not, but certainly they've got better power, better tyres, and better fuel than they had previously. Jordan, I expect to see slip back. They've been our closest competitors the last few years, them and Arrows, but certainly it's Arrows I consider to be the greater threat. 27 degrees and dry for qualifying. Let's see how wrong my predictions were. Well, I was wrong about Jordan. David Coulthard takes pole position for McLaren on a 1:38.36. We are about half a second off that, with Shinji Nakano down in P8 behind Heinz-Harald Frenzen's Ferrari, the Minardi of Alessandro Marini, the Arrows and McLaren's both looking strong as we predicted. The Jordan of Toru Takagi kind of out of position, I would think. Hiroshi Tanaka down in P16, the soft tyre really not being the right decision for us. The slowest cars, though, Stewart, Sauber and Prost. Benetton's also languishing down a little bit. It looks like McLaren have a healthy advantage coming into this season. Very strong winds, slightly cool temperature for race day. In terms of pit strategy, it will be a 55-54 for Shinji Nakano. He will be one stopping, and I'm hoping that he has the race pace that we saw last year. Of course, it's kind of hard to say, to be honest. Why am I loading 39 laps of fuel when I meant to load 29? Maths! If we're stronger on race pace and we can develop these hard tyres quickly, then all good. He will be 3 stopping as far as I'm concerned. Lap 15, lap 35, lap 30 and lap 45. 15, 15, 15, and then enough to get to the end of the race. Why would that only be 13? Have I overfueled him somewhere? Oh, yeah, because it's not full. Okay. Sorry, just being an idiot. I know that is a hell of a lot of pit stops, but I'm going to start him on scrubbed tyres, actually. Okay. No idea if this is going to work. No idea at all. But let's see. Well, something worked. P2. Of course it was Nakano. Of course it was. David Coulthard takes the win for McLaren. 132, 31620. Shinji Nakano bringing it home. P2, 132, 35957. Damon Hill rounding out the podium. Both Ferraris pulling it back into the points. Newhouse leading Frentzen in a Ferrari 4.5. Final points going to the arrows of John Fellows. We lost Hiroshi Tanaka to an unknown issue. At least he didn't crash, so I'm prepared to go aggressive with him again. But let's see. I don't know if we turned a profit at that Grand Prix. No, we made a huge loss, and that's mostly driven by testing. That's a worry. Let's take a look at how things are looking. So we have a 2-season deal from Red Bull on the table, 20.5 million. A 1-season 23 million deal from Buzzing Hornets. A 1-season 25.5 million deal from Blondes. Even though Red Bull like us and it's a 2-season deal, I'm going to go where the money is. It's a 2-season engine deal, that also helps. A 1-season deal on the table from Bridgestone, 2 seasons from Shell, 1 season and less money from Mobil. So again, kind of a no-brainer at this point. We'll take the 2-season deals. Okay, so in terms of sponsors, we're going to bring Blondes, Mugen Honda and Shell to the forthcoming races, make sure we butter them up good and proper. We're probably going to have to take a loan again this year looking at our cash flow problems. We have a new set of servo brakes to homologate and they are approved. That's exciting. We also have some new technology also approved. I'm going to be spending a lot of time and money working on this now. No update on whether the 2004 car is reliable. Let's see how much testing costs us here. A lot. First things first, let's update the cars. To the latest spec. The engine I can live with for now. It's the tyres that really need some love, and they really do need some love. How to spend our money. It's certainly given me pause regarding upgrading the factory. These are flyaway races, so we should move closer to profitability as time goes on. Let's take a look at the news. John Fellows got his first championship point. I want to see who got the fastest lap, but it was Coulthard. I was hoping it was going to turn out to be Tanaka, but clearly not. Stefan Sarazan, no longer an option for us, signed with Prost. Arrow's also trying to pick up David Coulthard as they continue their ascendancy. Tricky. Tricky dicky. What to do. In terms of credit, don't really want to do that. Don't really want to sell any of the team. Don't want to spend 800,000. I'm going to cut our hospitality budget. That's a way to save significant amounts of cash. Okay, no engine testing, no fuel testing. Let's cut our mileage to 160 miles. And let's bump focus like this. Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. We've got enough points to improve our tyres a little bit. So let's immediately do that. We've got 2. Nice. So let's improve those in terms of rigidity and temperature. No upgrades for fuels and engines at this time, but we can begin work on an update package for this year's car. So I'm going to immediately do that. The guys who are working on driver aids, I'm now going to place working on a new rear spoiler for this year's car. And we're going to spend the development points boosting all our projects along. Nice. Let us repair some cars. I'm not building any spare parts. Saving money now just to see if we can make it through the flyaway races without bankrupting ourselves. Okay, looking good. In terms of drivers, let's make sure no one else is being signed up. I'm going to say this is the last chance for Tanaka to prove himself, really. I'm going to say this is his last shot. And I may even put this video out today so I can do some more recording tomorrow and have you guys give me some feedback. That would be good. Alrighty, there's new commercial staff available. I am actually going to spend the money getting those because we really need the sponsor monies. On we go. Let's do some setup work. I'm going to set up... Oh wow, we didn't get the full amount of setup points. I didn't realise. That's definitely not good. But I am definitely going to be favouring Nakano because I can't think why I wouldn't. So we have upgrades all round. And we're going to move Tanaka onto the hard compound tyre. I'm going to leave him pushing and seeing if he can actually bring the car home. We already have some upgrades to our technology. 32 degrees, very hot, so it's good actually that we put both guys on the hard compound tyres. And it's good that we didn't impair the engine's ability to deal with heat. Tanaka out-qualifying Shinji Nakano, there's a surprise. McLaren's firm grasp on pole position has been shattered. Heinz-Harald Frentzen taking pole, not by much, but still taking pole for Ferrari, ahead of Coulthard and Hill. Alessandro Marini continues his very strong run at Minardi, qualifying P4. Tanaka, P5 for ourselves, ahead of the Jordans of Takagi and Diniz. Shinji Nakano down in P11, not entirely sure why. Light rain for the race, that's bad, because our intermediate tyres suck. They really suck. But not much we can do. I'm going to one-stop Nakano for sure. And and see if he can make those tyres last. I'm going to leave Tanaka on 2 stops because honestly these tyres are so bad I don't know what's going to happen. Nothing good. Tanaka finishes 3 laps down. Damon Hill wins from the Jordan of Pedro Diniz, Mika Hakkinen rounding out your podium. Coulthard, Ralf Schumacher and Eddie Irvine Stewart taking the last points. Engine failure takes out Shinji Nakano, and Hiroshi Tanaka is just slow. But we did turn a profit, which we desperately needed. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. I hope your weekend has kicked off as lovely as you all deserve. Please do let me know down in the comments below what we should do on the driver front. Do take care of yourselves, and we will talk again very soon, possibly even tomorrow. Bye, 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 bye.